Humans could split into two subspecies. That's the prediction of evolution expert Dr. Oliver Curry, but it won't happen quite yet. Dr. Curry predicts the division will happen in 100,000 years' time.
So, how do we get to the Great Divide? Well, the theory of evolution has us advancing from small primates millions of years ago with some very drastic changes to the modern-day human being.
So what happens next? Well, according to Dr. Curry, the year 3006, not far away, really will be man's peak. We'll have coffee-coloured skin, an average height of 6.5 feet, and a life expectancy of 120 years.
But then it all goes a bit wrong. In the year 12,006, our reliance on technology will leave us frail and prone to infections.
But the year 100 and 2006 will have seen the big split. A genetic elite of tall, thin intellectuals who breed together will emerge. Alongside that will be an underclass, a dim, hobbit-like creature.
So if this is to be believed, then some people will end up looking more like they did right back there at the very start. Well, joining us now is Colin Shaw from Cambridge University's Centre for Human Evolutionary Studies. Colin, thanks very much for joining us this evening. It's a bit as all H.G. Wells predicted, isn't it? Tell us a bit more about these two species and whether you agree with this prediction.
Well, I don't necessarily agree. The difficult part is that when you split groups into two different populations, it takes a significant geographic or some sort of environmental condition to have this occur. And with his predictions, he's predicted that everything's going to be a big meld of coffee-colored people. So he's taken two different stances that don't necessarily meld with each other. There's a number of pieces in the article that actually do this type of thing where they don't really they contrast and aren't really clear.
So can you see how he's reached his conclusion that there'll be these two classes, the godlike upper class, if you like, and the goblin-like underclass?
Well, you asked me, do I see how he came to that conclusion? Well, you could see, because it's just speculation. And once you invoke genetic engineering, you can basically say whatever you want. The difficult part is that it's the future. I mean, we're trying to understand the past here where we do research, the prehistory, without any written record or anything, and we're having a difficult time, and we're doing the best we can, and we still have an unclear picture. But the future, who knows what's going to happen? So he can predict anything he wants, and it's very difficult to say on either side that it's true or not.
And how do you think we'll evolve then?
Interesting question. I think in the near future, things such as the influence and the impact of AIDS and other diseases such as SARS will have a big impact in the future, and that could be something that would cause micro and macro evolution in the future. Other things like climate change are going to have a big impact, and we have an opportunity to do something about it at this point, and I'm not sure if we'll be able to. I hope we do, but that's, I mean, as I said, we can't predict the future, but if I had to guess that something's going to still influence human evolution now, that would be what I'd suggest.
Colin Shaw, it's a fascinating subject. Thanks very much for joining us.